Welcome to The Turnover. The format is simple. Take 3 multifamily media network hosts with a maintenance background and put them together. The twist is that, like maintenance in the apartment industry, they have to respond to the unknown. You see, 2 of the hosts don't know what the topic is. The fun part is there's no limit and you get to listen in. So what ideas are we turning today?
All right, Mark.
Change the subject.
Yeah. All right, Mark. What's your big topic of conversation? Especially since I set up one that went way different than where I was planning. What's your topic? Go for it, man.
No, I mean, I think I'd like to expand on just one small piece of what we discussed earlier, and that is not the training part, but the diminishing workforce. Ooh. How, in an industry like multifamily, in an industry that I call recession-proof, how do we bring people to our industry? Where are we as an industry? Where are we as, what do you want to say, NAA, whatever it is, but where are we failing? And just, I know.
Hold on, let me sit up. We're stretching out.
Let me stretch this out.
My favorite topic. Where are we failing? Wow.
Don't pull any muscles. Don't pull any muscles here.
Wow.
For the weekend.
Wow.
But I mean, we have such a phenomenal opportunity. We provide an essential service. You know, I mean, yes, we're in the customer service industry, but we provide housing.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I don't know, just why can't we bring people? Why can't we bring workers? Why is it so hard to find maintenance? Why is it so hard to staff? What are we doing wrong?
Chris.
No, I don't want to talk about this topic. Man.
All right.
It makes me sad. You go first, Paul, because this makes me sad.
I think it is a completely marketing and awareness issue.
Wait, now I want to go because he just stole my time. He just stole where I was going. I did not think he was going to go. Can we start over? Can we restart the?
No, I gave you a chance. I practiced shutting up. I did good. I did the good thing, so now I get rewarded, and it's this.
Fine.
But I also think that just the fact that the topic was offered and all 3 of us had the same thought, I'm guessing on. So my question is, then, if we all agree that it's a marketing and awareness issue, how do we solve it? Instead of us spending time talking about the problem, what is your solution? My solution is, I think we need a program from NAA that can be sent down to local association level. One unified program that could be tailored as needed that hits the high school at the freshman level of high school of, hey, while you're beginning to think about your career, think on this $3+ trillion industry for something that you need. Maybe it's not even maintenance. Maybe, God forbid, somebody not be interested in learning how to fix something. I mean, there. But we have office, huge amounts of technology. I mean, prop tech now is massive. That's where all the money is coming into our industry, is in those apps, systems. I mean, the big 3 continue to expand out their technology offerings. Maybe your preference is to stick with technology, become coding for multifamily services and needs. The entrepreneurship is there. Like finances, come to multifamily. Do you like being sales? Do you like selling things? We need leasing help. Interested in management, people management, human resources. All of those things are available in the multifamily industry. Yep. And I think we need to hit them earlier, maybe even before the freshman level at high school. But right now, there is zero. How many times, Chris, have you had people on your show? And I know, Mark, you've had that conversation, and I've said it myself. I fell into the apartment industry, almost an accident, and I never climbed out because it is such a great place to work that I didn't know about.
Right.
So that, I think, is my solution. Hit our potential employees in high school before they even enter the career phase. And that way, even if they don't stay in multifamily, we can be the ones providing those basic job career skills.
Yeah.
So, okay, now, Chris, you can go. What's your solution to marketing?
He lost his phone,
multifamily?
so he was sitting up, but now he's all kicked back. Now I think you took it out of him.
You took the wind out of my sails, Paul. I hate it when you steal my you and I have these conversations. I tell you all of these things, and then you just repackage them like they're your own.
I came up with that. My two brain cells rubbed together to create that on my own. Thank you very much.
No, so I actually, I agree and disagree with you. So as normal, so we have a real PR issue, public relations, right? Let's put aside multifamily industry for a second. Just maintenance in general has a PR issue.
Yes.
Right? And that is not something the multifamily industry can fix. They can make it better. Organizations like NAA and local affiliates could make it better, but they're never going to fix that perception of what a maintenance person is, and unfortunately we shoot ourselves in the foot when we have really good maintenance technicians that walk around properties or that have shirts untucked or that are cursing or that are outside smoking. And you see this in all the industries. But when you have a PR issue, and this is what our maintenance teams don't present as professionally, that perpetuates your PR issue, right? I have worked with and I'm sure I know that you both have as well. I have run the gamut from the maintenance technician who's practically in a suit and tie to the other end of the spectrum, right? So yeah, we have a PR issue, and not enough companies deal with that. They're not as focused on making sure that their team members know how to talk to residents, know how to provide a good customer experience, I know it's a topic for another day, but we're going to just do quick bites here on this one, is they don't do enough. We talk about technical training. You can talk about technical training all you want. The reason that people like ourselves, who started as maintenance groundskeepers and maintenance supervisors and maintenance technicians, got to the point was because either A, we were inherently good at customer service, which happens, or B, we had really good mentors and we learned how to be good at customer service. So inherently good you're going to have, right? You're going to have maintenance professionals who are inherently good at customer service. And then there's the other segment of people that need the training. We're so worried about making sure that they know how to paint a wall and unclog a toilet in their training. We're not providing enough training. They get fair housing, but they're not getting customer service training. How do you talk to people? How do you de-escalate a situation? How do you leave a conversation where the person's thanking you even though they didn't get what they wanted?
Right.
That is an enormous piece that we're missing, and that is part of our PR, right? And that is part of our public relations. If you have residents that are getting good customer service experiences, hi, our friend Mary Gwen over at MMN, who talks about customer experiences all the time. If we, I think, what is it? 2 in 3 Americans live in an apartment. I think it's a pretty close stat.
Wow. I don't know if it's that high, but it is.
That may be in the state of New Jersey. I may be quoting. There's a number where, and there are some states where your resident base, more residents live in apartment communities or apartments than live in houses. Probably not generally, but I know in the state of New Jersey, I think it's 2/3 of the residents in the state of New Jersey. And I know somebody's going to fact check me on it, and I'll Google it later. But that population is perpetuating, they have a good experience with their maintenance team members. They're probably more inclined, if their son or daughter does not want to go to a 4-year institution, you don't want to be a maintenance man because that guy Johnny that we had 4 years ago when we lived at, Evergreen Communities was a complete jerk. And I don't want you to grow up to be a jerk. Yeah. And I think that is part of it, is that PR issue. I don't want to talk about money. That's a whole nother thing. But organizations do not provide customer service training, which in turn, people who live in apartments have a bad negative impression of maintenance team members, maintenance professionals, which does not, and even, my daughter lived in apartments for the first 9 years of her life. Well, yes, it was through my job. And yes, all of my maintenance people had to be very nice to her because she was my daughter and I was their boss.
That's right.
But she got to see really good impressions of maintenance team members. There are children growing up that in apartments that do not have good impressions of maintenance professionals. Sure. And if 1 in 10 of those could be, or 1 in 100 could be a future maintenance technician, and that 1 in 100 had a bad experience in their apartment, do you think that they're going to go that route? No, they're not going to go into the trades. They may have the skills, they may have the desire, but they're not going to go that route because they had one bad experience.
Yeah. Sounds to me like that's a good topic for fundamentals.
Yeah. Another callback. Mark, he likes to just do callbacks on everything. He doesn't have an original thought. He just calls back to other things. But I that's what I think. I think it's a PR issue, and you're right. It is fundamental. I think customer service is a fundamental, Paul. There's no question about that.
I think you mentioned, Paul, the various, like the size of our industry, $3 trillion for the U.S. economy, but the number of positions that the multifamily housing industry has. And you start to think about when leasing professionals, when you're hiring for a leasing professional, they receive some training for leasing, how to be sales, how to de-escalate, how to close, how to all those things. But I think it's important that when you hire maintenance personnel, maybe not the leasing stuff specifically, but definitely the customer service part, maintenance professionals need to be put through the same training, because whether you're a maintenance guy, but you're in sales and you carry a wrench, like you're still there to sell your community. You're still there to sell that resident on why they need to stay, but you're also providing a service and fixing something as well. But I feel like it's okay. You're hired day one. Here's your supervisor. Go train with that dude or that lady. And there's never any sales training. There's never any customer service training, soft skills, de-escalation. Those are trainings. I never got them.
I'll take it one step further. What does onboarding look like at our property level? Yes, management companies have that program, but the onboarding, especially on the maintenance side of the house, more often is, we've been without somebody for so long. Here's the keys. Go fix something.
Right.
And you get paid every other Friday. Go fix something.
Right.
Don't forget the payday. But no, Mark, to your point, you're absolutely right, is that, we talk about in our trainings with our maintenance team members when we train them, when we do CAMT training, when we talk about fixing HVAC units or fixing appliances. Why did it break? Fix the why. What we are not doing with our maintenance professionals when it comes to customer service or even just business knowledge is why, right?
Correct.
It took me years for somebody to explain to me what vacancy loss was. Now, if you're in our industry, you understand what vacancy loss is, right? If you're not in our industry, a very basic version of vacancy loss is every day an apartment sits vacant, you're losing money. So it's really important to get the apartment turned as quickly as possible. But that's what we focus on with our maintenance teams. We have to turn them fast, so we can reduce vacancy loss. Once somebody explained to me the dollars and cents, I was able to have an informed conversation about if this unit is going to take me an extra day or two. I understand, as said maintenance professional, that we are losing let's round numbers, $100 a day. But if I turn it 2 days earlier, yes, you have potential. Again, you have to learn. Just because I turn it 2 days faster doesn't mean you're going to get that $200.
That's right.
Or I could spend that extra $200 and I'm going to save you money because I was able to really make sure that the unit was fully PM'd. I was able to test every appliance for full functionality. I was able to fully run the dishwasher. I was able to fully run the washing machine and the dryer, if you have those, I was able to cycle on the air conditioner through its full heating cycle, and it's through full air conditioning cycle. I took the time to ensure that we would not lose money later in repairs because I was doing it now. The minute I started talking like that, that changed the narrative. And it was no longer, Chris is taking too much time and it's costing us too much money. It was, Chris is taking too much time and he's saving us money because he explained it from his perspective in a way that we never thought it before. That was a game changer. And it took me 2 years before somebody explained to me what vacancy loss was, and another 2 years before I was able to come up with my explanation of why, you can have it 2 days faster, but here's what it's going to cost you if you do. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
And then we don't do that with enough of our people.
Right.
I have people that have been working in this business 20 years, and if I asked them what vacancy loss was, or what loss to lease was, or, and there's any number of operational, buzzwords, balance sheet items that you can throw at somebody, and they might not know what it is because nobody ever took the time to explain the business side to them and how their job affects it.
Right. So then problem solving. Who does it? Who should be the one? Are we talking about the property manager? Are we talking about the regional? Are we talking about the maintenance supervisor? Are we talking about the CEO, the president? Are we talking about a special position, somebody who travels around for a management company or for smaller management companies, an association, that their job, their role is to train non-financial people on the financial impact of their job? Who do you say it is? Quick answer, Chris. Who should it be?
I think it should be a trainer. I think it should be wrapped into training, right? Okay. And however that looks, we're training people on repairs. We should train people on financials. And unfortunately, we have training for the office and training for maintenance. What we need to do is look at the office training and say, this is what we're training the office on. Let's revise that training for maintenance so they understand what their role is, and vice versa. There's maintenance training that should be focused on operations. And at every organization I've worked at, this is the office training, this is the maintenance training, and none the two shall ever meet.
All right, Mark, what's your answer? Who does it? Who do you think?
Well, I mean, if you can teach KMT to 110 people, I think you should do it.
My show, Maintenance Mindset. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go.
No, I actually agree with Chris. I think there needs to be I think it needs to be a trainer that's with that company that knows that company's policies and procedures and budgets and SOPs, and I think there needs to do that. But there needs to be a happy marriage between the two. You can't keep them separated and then say we're a team. No, it's office and maintenance. If you're gonna have this and the two never shall meet, it's office and maintenance. It's not a team. So I think as much crossover as you can possibly make, there has to be crossover to get your teams together so that each one can understand what the other position is responsible for. I think that's the only real way you can create continuity within the team.
All right. My answer is different. As a trainer, and
well, that's because he's a trainer. He doesn't want to do it.
No, actually, no. I think what you're describing right now is the expectation, but because of labor needs, both on the leasing side of the house and maintenance side of the house. I mean, from a turnover rate, I think industry right now, we are at a above 50% turnover rate year over year.
We are.
Meaning, if you have 10 people on your team, January 1, 2024, January 1, 2025, 5 of those people are new. Were not there last year. So because of turnover, I think the ideal is what you guys describe. Reality, I don't think what you guys describe works because of that heavy turnover. In my mind, the person doing it is the power of veto at the site level. And by that, in my mind, the chain of command or chain of leadership, however you want to put it, goes through the property manager at the site level. From the property manager, you have right next to it, almost parallel, the maintenance supervisor, to where they both are leading that property, but the property manager has the power of veto. They're the ones that are held responsible for performance altogether. In my mind, that says that all training of operational training, business side, financial training, that comes through the property manager. Yes, a trainer covers the specialization that goes down in. In other words, someone like myself teaches the multimeter skills, the troubleshooting skills, the individual skills there. On the leasing side, you have a sales trainer, you have an accounting trainer, you have a systems trainer that does that. And there is some overlap in there, to your points. But on something as important as industry knowledge and customer service skills, you have to have somebody teaching that can hold to a standard. In other words, if I'm the trainer and I come in and teach you, Mark, how to provide customer service, I fly in, I teach you, Mark, we put together a class, Mark and Chris, teach you customer service. You spend an afternoon with me, we role play, we go through, this is how you talk, this is how you do, this is what you look like through a peephole, this is those skills, and then I'm gone. Yep. In other words, I have no method to verify that you're actually doing what you're doing. In my perfect world, the person doing that training is the property manager, because the property manager not only teaches the skills, they also impart the responsibility so that the workers can be held accountable. If I'm the property manager and I say, Mark, you need to tuck in your shirt. I come in tomorrow and your shirt's not tucked in, we're going to have a discussion. Day after that, if your shirt's still not tucked in, it's going to be an even deeper discussion. All of those operational standards, I think, should come through that property level. And that's where I think it needs to go. Yes, persons like myself doing that, I'll teach you the plumbing, replacing faucets, the individual turning, the why skills. To your point, Chris, the why, that comes through the property manager and the operational training that I think we are lacking. And that also would cover that onboarding piece too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Look,
See, how was that for two brain cells rubbing together? And you didn't say that.
We solved the problem. We solved the problem. Solved it.
Yes. Done. Next.
That's what we should call this episode is solved it. Just solved it. Just solved it.
Awesome.
So I do want to go back on a quick point of correction because, the facts are important. So currently in the state of New Jersey, 33% of the population in the state of New Jersey are renters.
Okay.
So one in three residents in people living in the state of New Jersey. In New York State, 23% of New Yorkers live in apartments. So that's 1 in 4 in New York. Most of them are in New York City, by the way, in New York City or New York City Metro, and 1 in 3 in New Jersey. The national average for renters is roughly 38% of the U.S. population.
Wow.
38.9 million people in the U.S. live in apartments. That is
Just
1 in 8 people in the country rent.
Is that renting apartments, or does that include single family rentals?
It probably includes single family rentals. But yeah, that is a solid statistic from the National Apartment Association and Status Facts is that nearly 39 million people in the United States, almost 1 in 8, call apartments their home. So yes, a house rental could be considered an apartment. By those standards. That is, we have 1 in 8 people in the U.S. have some exposure to an apartment community, a maintenance professional, a leasing professional, a management company. That's a lot when you think about it.
Yeah. That becomes the sales pitch then for a program, a PR campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, what PR campaign, what other industry doesn't have a PR campaign when you're talking about over, 15% of the population?
Mm-hmm.
That you're talking about 1 in 8, and there is no PR campaign. I mean, they're the milk. The milk advertising campaign for the milk industry, beef industry. You've got it for what's the new one that has come on recently? There was one I noticed that they're starting to advertise. Heck, the state of California has a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Of course, they've identified they have been net negative population growth for 5 years now, 6 years now. But that is amazing to me. We don't have. So solved it. Done. We just get a marketing campaign. Done.
Next. Yep.
We need better marketing and PR people.
Yeah, marketing PR people on Multifamily Media Network. Go there. We've identified.
Take it and run with it.
Take it and run. Go.
We just gave them their next talking points for their next several months worth of episodes. I love it.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen.
All right. Well, in closing, before we shut this down and close it out and figure out who the heck's going to edit this or get it down into something usable, any closing thoughts or comments?
No, not on this topic. I think that organizations need to really look at the cause for their PR issues with maintenance, and maybe they can do their small part without a big, huge marketing campaign. If everybody was to elevate their maintenance professionals, whether it was through customer, through the customer experience, through their presentation, through their professionalism, if everybody was to do their little part, right, then as an industry, we'll start to see an elevated professional, which will in turn provide better public relations. And it's not going to change overnight. It's going to take some time, but we're not doing it now. So we got to start somewhere. And I think that the National Apartment Association does a fantastic job. NAA does a fantastic job with their RPM Careers program, social media and spent a lot of time over the last few years, really, so we do have some of it coming from a national level. And there's been a lot more focus on maintenance from RPM Careers, Real Property Management Careers over the last couple of years, which has been fantastic. But, owners and operators need to do their part. And us as maintenance professionals need to do ours as well.
It's true. Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah. Texas Apartment Association has this really cool program. I think they call them ambassadors, to where they go to the industry and you get nominated and they make commercials with you. It's an annual award that you win, and they do videos of day in the life videos of this is the day in the life of a maintenance technician. And this is what it looks like. And it's got a real focus both for, don't you want to get better or be a part of a career that can lead to life? And it's also kind of a unintentional, this is a standard to hold. When you see a maintenance technician, this is what the visual should be. And it's very professionally done. If you haven't seen their website, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That the program they have too at the state level, and granted it's Texas, so it's big.
Everything's big.
Everything's big.
That's it.
Yeah. Y'all, this was fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Now it's your opportunity to respond and let us know what we missed. If there's any topics of conversation you'd like us to turn over, head over to multifamilymedianetwork.com and leave us a message.